please enjoy Henry VI, parts 2 and 3.
Kind keeper of my weak, decaying age, let dying Mortimer here rest himself. But tell me, keeper, will my nephew come?
Your nephew, Richard Plantagenet, my lord, will come. We sent unto the temple, unto his chamber. An answer was received, he will come.
My soul shall then be satisfied. Poor gentleman is wronged with equal mine. Since Henry Monmouth first began to reign, before whose glory I was great in arms, this loathsome sequestration have I had, and even since then hath Richard been obscured, deprived of honor and inheritance. I would his troubles likewise were expired, that so he might recover what was lost.
Your loving nephew, my lord, now is come.
Oh, Mr. President, my friend, is he come?
My noble uncle, thus ignobly used, your nephew, late despised Richard, comes.
Now declare, sweet stem of York's great stock, why didst thou say of late thou wert despised?
First, lean thine aged back against mine arm, and in that ease I'll tell thee my disease. This day, upon an argument in a case, some words there grew twixt Somerset and me, among which terms he used his lavish tongue, and did upbraid me with my father's death. Therefore, good uncle, for my father's sake, in honor of a true Plantagenet, and for alliance sake, declare the cause, my father, Earl of Cambridge, lost his head.
I will, if that my fading breath permit, and death come not before my tale be done. Henry IV, grandfather to this king, deposed his nephew, Richard, Edward's son, the first begotten and the lawful heir of Edward King, the third of that descent. Young Richard thus removed, leaving no heir begotten of his body. I was the next, by birth and parentage. But mark, as in this mortal great attempt they labored to plant the rightful heir, I lost my liberty, and they their lives. Long after this, when Henry V did reign, thy father, Earl of Cambridge then, levied an army, wishing to redeem and have restored me to the diadem. But as the rest, so fell that noble earl and was beheaded. As the Mortimers, in whom the title rested, were suppressed. Thou art my heir. The rest I bid thee gather, but yet be wary in thy studious care.
Thy grave admonishments prevail with me. But yet methinks my father's execution was nothing less than bloody tyranny.
With silence, nephew, be thou politic. Strong fixing is the house of Lancaster, and like a mountain, not to be removed.
Uncle, would some part of my young years might but redeem the passage of your age.
Or not, except the sorrow for my death. Only give order for my funeral. So, farewell, and fair be all thy hopes, and prosperous be thy life, in peace and war.
In peace, no war befall thy parting soul. Well, I will lock his counsel in my breast, and what I do imagine, let that rest. Keeper, convey him hence, and I myself will see his burial better than his life. Here dies the dusky torch of Mortimer, choked with ambition of the meaner sort, and for those wrongs, those bitter injuries which Somerset hath offered to my house, I doubt not, but with honor to redress.
What plain proceedings is more plain than this. Henry doth claim the crown from John of Gaunt, the fourth son. York claims it from the third. And in this private plot, I will be the first that shall salute my rightful sovereign with honor of his birthright to the crown. Long live our sovereign Richard, England's king.
I thank you, Warwick, but I'm not your king till I be crowned, and that my sword be stained with the heart's blood of the House of Lancaster, and that's not suddenly to be performed. But with advice and silent secrecy, do you as I do in these dangerous days. Wink at Suffolk's insolence, at Fulford's pride, at Somerset's ambition, at Buckingham, and all the crew of them, till they have snared the shepherd of the flock. That virtuous prince, the good Duke of Gloucester. 'Tis that they seek, and they in seeking that shall find their deaths, if York can prophesy.
My heart assures me that the Earl of Warwick will one day make the Duke of York a king.
And Neville, this I do assure myself, Richard shall live to make the Earl of Warwick the greatest man in England but the king.
As by your high imperial majesty, I had in charge of my depart for France, as procreator to your excellence, to marry Princess Margaret for your grace. So, in the famous ancient city tours, I had performed my task and was espoused. And now, humbly, upon bended knee, give up my title and the queen, the happiest gift that ever marquis gave, the fairest queen that ever king received.
Suffolk, arise. Welcome, Queen Margaret.
Great King of England, my gracious lord.
Lords, with one cheerful voice, welcome my love.
All hail Queen Margaret, England's happiness.
We thank you all.
My Lord Protector, as it please your grace, here are the articles of contract of peace between our sovereign and the French King Charles.
In premise, it is agreed that Henry, King of England, shall espouse the Lady Margaret, daughter unto Rainier, King of Naples, and crown her Queen of England. Item, that the Duchy of Anjou and the County of Maine be released and delivered unto the King her father, and she sent over of the King of England's own proper cost and charges, without having any dowry.
Did they please us well? Lord Marquis, kneel down. We here create thee the first Duke of Suffolk, and gird thee with the sword. Cousin of York, we here discharge our grace from being regent in the parts of France. Come, let us in with all speed provide to see her coronation be performed.
What? Did my brother Henry spend his youth in winter's cold and summer's parching heat to conquer France, his true inheritance? And have not you, Somerset, Buckingham, brave York, and victorious Warwick, received deep scars in France and Normandy? And shall these deeds of war and all our council die? O peers of England, fatal is this marriage, shameful this league, cancelling your fame, defacing monuments of ancient France, undoing all as all had never been.
My Lord of Gloucester, now you go too far. It was the pleasure of my lord the king.
My Lord of Winchester, I know your mind. 'Tis not my speeches that you do dislike, but 'tis my presence here that troubles you. Rancor will out, proud helot. In thy face I see thy fury. If I longer stay, we will begin our ancient bickerings. Lordies, farewell. And say when I am gone, I prophesied France will be lost ere long.
So there goes our protector in a rage. It's known to you he is mine enemy. Nay more, an enemy unto you all. And no great friend, I fear me, to the king. Consider, lords, he is the next of blood, and heir apparent to the English crown. I fear me, lords, for all this flattering gloss, he will be found a dangerous protector.
Why should he then protect our sovereign, he being of age to govern himself? Cousin of Somerset, go you with me, and altogether with the Duke of Suffolk, we'll quickly hoist Duke Humphrey from his seat.
This weighty business will brook no delay. I'll to the Duke of Suffolk presently.
Cousin of Buckingham, though Humphrey's pride and greatness of his place be grief to us, let us not forget the haughty Cardinal. His insolence is more intolerable than all the princes in the land. Besides, if Gloucester be displaced, he'll be protector.
Or thou or I, Somerset, will be protector, despite Duke Humphrey or the Cardinal.
While these do labor for their own preferment, behooves it us to labor for the realm. Join we together in what we can to bridle and suppress the pride of Suffolk and the Cardinal with Buckingham's and Somerset's ambition, and as we may cherish Duke Humphrey's deeds while they do tend the profit of the land. So God help Warwick as he loves the land and common profit of his country. Let's make haste away and look unto the main.
Anjou and Maine are given to the French. Paris is lost! The state of Normandy stands upon a tickle point, now they're gone too. So York must sit and fret and bite his tongue while his own lands are bargained for and sold. A day will come when York shall claim his own, and therefore will I take on the Neville's part and make a show of love to proud Duke Humphrey. And when I spy advantage, claim the crown. Well, that's the golden mark I seek to hit. And York, be still a while till time do serve. Watch thou and wake while others be asleep to pry into the secrets of the state, till Henry, surfeiting in joys of love with his new bride and England's dear bought queen, and Humphrey with the peers be fallen at jars, then will I raise aloft the milk-white rose, with whose sweet smell the air shall be perfumed, and in my standard bear the arms of York to grapple with the house of Lancaster, and force perforce I'll make him yield the crown, whose bookish rule hath pulled fair England down.
Why did the great Duke Humphrey knit his brows, as frowning at the favors of the world? What seest thou there? King Henry's diadem, enchased with all the honors of the world? If so, gaze on, and grovel on thy face until thy head be circled with the same.
Sweet Nell, if thou dost love thy lord, banish the canker of ambitious thoughts. My troublous dreams this night do make me sad. Methought this staff, my office badge in court, was broken twain. By whom I have forgot. And on the pieces of this broken wand were set the heads of Edmund, Duke of Somerset, and William de la Pole, 1st Duke of Suffolk. This was my dream. What it did both, God knows.
This was but an argument that he that breaks a stick of Gloucester's grove shall lose his head for his presumption. But listen to me, my Humphrey, my sweet Duke. Methought I sat in seat of majesty, where Henry and Dame Margaret kneeled to me, and on my head did set the diadem.
Ambitious dame, ill-nurtured Eleanor, art thou not second woman in the land, and the protector's wife, beloved of him? Hast thou not worldly pleasures at command? And still thou wilt be hammering treachery. Away from me, let me hear no more.
Next time I'll keep my dreams unto myself. Were I a man, a duke, and next of blood, I would remove these tedious stumbling blocks and smooth my way upon their headless necks. And being a woman, I will not be slack to play my part in fortune's pageant. Where are you then? Oh, Sir John.
I fear not, man, we're alone. There's none but thee and I.
What sayest thou, then? Hast thou as yet conferred with Marguerite Jourdain, the cunning witch?
This she hath promised, to show your highness a spirit raised from the depth of underground.
We'll see these things effected to the full. Here, Hugh, take this reward. Make merry, men, with thy confederates in this weighty cause.
Dame Eleanor gives gold to bring the witch, yet Have I gold flies from another coast? I dare not say from the rich Cardinal and the great and new-made Duke of Suffolk, yet I do find it so, for they, knowing Dame Eleanor's aspiring humor, have hired me to undermine the Duchess and buzz these conjurations in her brain, and her attainture will be Duke Humphrey's fault. Sort out will, I shall have gold for all. Come, stand close! My Lord Protector will come this way by and by, and then we may deliver our supplications in the quill. Here he comes, methinks, and the Queen with him. I will be the first, sure.
This is the Duke of Suffolk and not my Lord Protector.
Now, fellows, what's anything with me?
Please you pardon me, I took you for my Lord Protector.
To my Lord Protector, are your supplications to his lordship? Let me see them. What is thine?
Against my master, Thomas Horner, for saying that the Duke of York was rightful heir to the crown.
What? Is the Duke of York saying he was rightful heir to the crown?
Well, my master said that he was, and that the king was a usurper.
Take this fellow in and send for his master presently. We'll hear more of your matter before the king.
My Lord of Suffolk, say, is this the government of Britain's Isle? Or shall King Henry be a pupil still under the surly Gloucester's governance? I tell thee, Paul, when in the city tours, now rents and tills in honor of my love, I thought King Henry had resembled thee in courage, courtship, proportion, but all his mind is bent to holiness. I would the college of the Cardinals would choose him pope and carry him to Rome.
Madam, be patient. While I was causing your highness came to England, for will I in England work your grace's full content.
Besides the haughty protector, have we Beaufort, the imperious churchman, Somerset, Buckingham, Warwick, grumbling York. Not all these lords do vex me half so much as that proud dame, the Lord Protector's wife. The strangers in court do take her for the queen. Shall I not live to be avenged on her?
Oh, madam, myself have limed a bush for her and placed a choir of such enticing birds that she will like to listen to the lays and never mount trouble to you again. So let her rest. And madam, list to me, for I am bold to counsel you in this. Although we fancy not the Cardinal, we must join with him and the other lords until we have brought Duke Humphrey in disgrace. As for the Duke of York, this late complaint will do little but its benefit. So, one will read them all at last, and you yourself shall see the happy hell.
For my part, noble lords, I care not which, or Somerset or York, all's one to me.
If York had to demean himself in France, let him be denied the regentship.
If Somerset be unworthy of the place, let York be regent. I will yield to him.
Whether your grace be worthy, yea or nay, dispute that not. York is the worthier.
Mrs. Warwick, let thy better speak.
Why Somerset should be preferred in this?
Because the king, forsooth, will have it so.
Madam, the king is old enough himself to give his censure. These are no woman's matters.
If he be old enough, what needs your grace to be protector of his excellence?
Madam, I am protector of the realm. I say, my sovereign, York is meetest man to be a regent for the realm of France.
Before we make election, give me leave to show some little force of why York is most unmeet of any man.
I'll tell thee, Suffolk, why I am unmeet. First, though I cannot flatter thee in pride. Next, if I be appointed for the place, my lord of Somerset will keep me here till France be won into the Dauphin's hands. Oh, last time I danced attendance on his will till Paris was besieged, banished, and lost.
That can I witness, and a fouler fact did never traitor in the land.
Peace! Headstrong Warwick.
Image of pride, why should I hold my peace?
Because here is a man accused of treason. Pray God the Duke of York excuse himself.
Doth anyone accuse York for a traitor?
What meanest thou, Suffolk? What are these?
Please it, your majesty. Here is the man accused of treason, and his words were these, that his master, of York, is the heir apparent to the English crown, and your master was a usurper.
Say, man, were these thy words?
And it shall please your majesty, I never said nor thought any such matter. God is my witness. I am falsely accused by the villain.
By these 10 bones, my lords, he did speak them to me in the garret one night as we were scouring our Duke of York's armor.
Peace, dunghill villain and mechanical. I'll have thy head for this thy traitor speech. I do beseech your royal majesty, let him have all the rigor of the law.
Hang me ere I speak the words. My accuser is my prentice, and when I did correct him the other day for his faults, he did vow upon his knees he would be even with me. I have good witness of this. Therefore, I beseech your majesty, do not cast away an honest man for a villain's accusation.
Uncle, what shall we say to this in law?
This you, my lord, if I may judge. Let Somerset be regent o'er the French. For this in York breeds suspicion. And for these, let them have a day appointed them for single combat in convenient place. For he hath witness of his servant's malice.
My lord.
This is the law, and this Duke Humphrey's doom.
I humbly thank your royal majesty.
And I accept the combat willingly.
My lords, please, I cannot fight. Do God please take pity on my case. I cannot fight a single blow.
Sirrah, or you must fight, or else be hanged.
Away with them to prison. Come, Somerset, we'll see thee sent away.
The Duchess expects performance of your promises.
Master Hume, we are therefore provided, I pray you go, in God's name, leave us and let us to our work.
Well said. To this year, the sooner the better.
Patience, madam. Wizards know their times.
Deep night, dark night, the silence of the night, the time of night when Troy was set on fire, when screech owls cry, ban dogs howl, spirits walk, and ghosts break up their graves. Answer!
As math, by the eternal God, whose name and power thou tremblest at, answer that I shall ask, or thou shalt not pass from hence.
Ask what thou wilt, that I had said and done.
First of the king, what shall of him become?
The Duke yet lives, that Henry shall depose. Let him outlive and die a violent death.
What fates await the Duke of Suffolk?
By water shall he die and take his ends.
What shall befall the Duke of Somerset?
Let him shun castles. Have done, for more I hardly can endure.
Descends to darkness and the burning lake. False fiend, avoid!
Lay hands upon these traitors in the trash! What, madam? Are you there? My Lord Protector will, I no doubt, see you well girded for these good deserts.
Not half so bad as
as thine to England's king, injurious duke. The threatest was no cause.
Oh, no, madam, none at all. What call you this? Away with them. Have them propped up close and kept asunder. You, madam, with us.
Lord Buckingham, methinks you watched her well. A pretty plot, well chosen to build upon. I pray, my lord, let's see what the devil's wits we hear. These oracles are hardly attained and hardly understood. The king himself is now on progress toward St. Albans. With him, the husband of this lovely lady, pedagogues these news as fast as horse can carry them. A sorry breakfast for my Lord Protector.
What tidings with our cousin Buckingham?
Such as my heart doth tremble to unfold. A sort of naughty persons lewdly bent under the countenance and confederacy of Lady Eleanor, the Lord Protector's wife, have practiced dangerously against your state, dealing with witches and with conjurers, whom we have apprehended in the fact, raising up wicked spirits from underground.
Oh, what mischiefs work the wicked ones, heaping confusion on their own heads thereby.
Gloucester, see here the tainture of thy nest, and look upon thyself, thou wert best.
Madam, to heaven do I appeal, how I have loved my king and commonweal. And for my wife, I know not how it stands. Sorry I am to hear what I have heard. Noble she is, but if she hath forgot honor and virtue, and conversed with such as like to pitch defile nobility, then I banish her, my bed and company, and give her as a prey to law and shame, that hath dishonored Gloucester's honest name.
Stand forth, Dame Eleanor Cobham, Lord Gloucester's wife. In sight of God and us your guilt is great. Receive the sentence in the law for sins such as by God's book are adjudged to death. The which in Smithfield shall be burnt to ashes. You, madam, for you are more nobly born, the spoiling of your honor in your life shall after 3 days open penance done, live in banishment in the Isle of Man.
Welcome is banishment. Welcome or my death.
Eleanor, thou seest the law hath judged thee. I cannot justify whom the law condemns. My eyes are full of tears, my heart of grief. I do beseech your majesty, give me leave to go.
Stay, Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. Ere thou go, give up thy staff. Henry will to himself protector be, and God shall be my hope.
I see no reason why the king of years should be protected like a child. Oh, God and King Henry govern England's realm. Give up your staff, sir. And the king his realm.
My staff. Dear noble Henry is my staff. As willingly do I the same resign, as ere your father Henry made it mine. And even as willingly at thy feet I lay. Farewell, good king. When I am dead and gone, may honorable peace attend your throne.
Now is Henry king, and Margaret queen, and Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester, scarce himself. This staff of honor wrought there, let it stand where it best fits to be, in Henry's hand.
Thus droops this lofty pine and hangs his sprays. Thus Eleanor's pride dies in her youngest days.
Now is the hour appointed me to watch the coming of my punished Duchess. O sweet Nell, ill can thy noble minder brook the abject people laughing at thy shame, with whom once did follow thy proud chariot wheels, as thou didst ride in triumph through the streets.
Come you, my lord, to see my open shame? Now thou dost penance too, look how they gaze. See how the giddy multitude do point and nod their heads and throw their eyes on thee.
Sweet Nell, forget this grief, gentle Nell.
Gloucester, teach me to forget myself. For whilst I think I am thy married wife and thou a prince, protector of this land, methinks
be led along, nailed up in shame, with papers on my back. Oh, Humphrey, can I bear this shameful yoke? To think upon my pomp shall be my hell. But be thou mine, and blush not at my shame, nor stir at nothing, till the axe of death hang over thee, as sure it shortly will. For Suffolk, with she that hateth thee, and hates us all, and York, and impious Beaufort, that false priest, have all lined bushes to betray thy wings, and fly thou how thou canst, they'll tangle thee.
Oh, Nell, thou aimest all awry. I must defend before I be attainted. So long as I am loyal, true, and crimeless, sweet Nell, I take my leave.
Art thou going to? All comfort go with thee, for none abides with me. My joy is death. Death at whose name I oft have been afeared, because I wished this world's eternity. Go, lead the way. I long to see thy prison.
I muse my lord of Gloucester is not come. It's not his wont to be the hindmost man.
Can you not see, or will you not observe, the strangeness of his altered countenance? Note that he is near you in descent, and should you fall, he is the next will mount. It seemeth then it is no policy that he should come about your royal person, or be admitted to your highness's council.
Well hath your highness seen into this duke. The duchess, upon his subordination, upon my life, began her devilish practices. No, my sovereign. Gloucester is a man unsounded yet and full of deep deceit.
I shall speak by conscience. Our kinsman Gloucester is as innocent from meaning treason to our royal person as is the harmless dove or the sucking lamb. The Duke is virtuous, mild, and too well given to dream on evil or to work my downfall.
All health unto my gracious sovereign.
Welcome, Lord Somerset. What news from France?
That all your interest in those territories has utterly bereft you. All is lost.
Old news, Lord Somerset, but God's will be done.
Cold news for me, for I'd hope of France, as friendly as I hope for fertile England.
All health and happiness to my lord the king. Pardon, my liege, that I have stayed so long.
Nay, Gloucester, know that thou art come too soon, unless thou were more loyal than thou art. I do arrest you here for high treason.
Well, Suffolk, I shall not blush nor change my countenance for this arrest. A heart unspotted is not easily daunted. Who can accuse me? Wherein am I guilty?
I do arrest you in his highness's name, and here commit you to my lord cardinal for further keeping until your time of trial.
Oh, gracious lord, these days are dangerous. Virtue is choked with foul ambition, and charity chased hence by rancor's hand. Foul subordination is predominant, and equity exiles your highness land. I know their complots to take my life, and if my death could make this island happy and put a period to their tyranny, I would expend it with all willingness. But mine is but the prologue to their play, and you, my sovereign lady, with the rest, causeless, have laid disgraces on my head, and with your best endeavor have stirred up my leafless liege to be my enemy.
My liege, his railing is intolerable.
Hath he not, to wit, our sovereign lady here, as if she had suborned some to overthrow the state?
My lord, he is your prisoner.
Sir, take away the Duke, and guard him sure.
Thus does King Henry throw away his staff, before his legs be firm to bear his body. Thus is the shepherd beaten from thy side, and wolves are gnarling that will gnaw thee first. Oh, that my fears were false, all that they were, for good King Henry, thy decay I fear.
My lords, what to your wisdom seemeth best, do or undo, as if ourself were here.
Will your highness leave the parliament?
Aye, Margaret. My heart is drowned with grief. Oh, Humphrey, in thy face I see the map of honor, truth, and loyalty. And yet is the hour to come that ere I prove thee false or feared thy faith. What lowering star now envies thy estate that these noble lords and Margaret our queen do seek subversion of thy harmless life? Thou never didst them wrong, nor any man wrong. His fortunes I will weep, and twixt each groan say, who's a traitor? Gloucester he is none.
Free lords, cold, snow, melts with the sun's hot beams. Henry, my lord, is cold in great affairs, too full of foolish pity. This Gloucester should be quickly rid the world to rid us from the fear we have of him.
That he should die is worthy policy, but yet we want the colour for his death. 'Tis me he be condemned by curse of law.
But in my mind, that were no policy. The king will labor still to save his life. The commons haply rise to save his life. And we have yet but trivial argument. More than mistrust shows him worthy death.
So that by this you would not have him die.
Ah, York! No man alive so fair in his eye.
Thrice noble Suffolk, and resolutely spoke.
Say you consent, and censure well the deed, and I'll provide his execution. I tender so the safety of my liege.
Here is my hand. The deed is worth doing.
And so say I.
And I. Now we three have spoken. It skills not greatly who impugns our doom.
Great lords, from Ireland am I come amain to signify the rebels there up, and put the Englishmen unto the sword.
A breach that craves a quick expedient stop. What counsel give you in this weighty cause?
Oh, that Somerset be sent as regent thither. 'Tis meet that lucky ruler be thus employed. Witness the fortune he hath had in France.
If York, with all his far-bent policy, had been the regent there instead of me, he never would have stayed in France so long.
No, not to lose it all, as thou hast done.
Hey, no more, good York! Sweet Somerset, be still.
My lord of York, try what your fortune can. To Ireland will you lead a band of men and try your hap against the Irishmen?
I will, my lord. So please his majesty.
Why? Our authority is his consent. And what we do establish, he confirms.
I am content. Provide me with soldiers, lords, whilst I take order of mine own affairs.
Charge, Lord York, that I'll see performed. But now, return we to the false Duke Humphrey.
No more of him, for I will deal with him, that henceforth he shall trouble us no more.
Well, nobles, well. 'Tis politically done to send me packing with the host of men. I fear me, you but warm the starved snake who, cherished in your breasts, shall sting your hearts. 'Twas men I lacked, and you will give them me. I take it kindly. Yet be well assured, you put sharp weapons in a man's hands. Whilst I in Ireland nourish a mighty band, I will stir up in England some black storm, shall blow 10,000 souls to heaven or hell, and this fell tempest shall not cease to rage, until the golden circuit on my head, like to the glorious sun's transparent beams, do calm the fury of this mad-bred flaw. And for a minister of my intent, I have seduced the headstrong Kentishman, John Cade of Ashford, to make a motion as full well he can, under the title of John Mortimer. This devil here shall be my substitute. For that John Mortimer which now is dead, in face, in gait, and speech he doth resemble. By this, I shall perceive the commons' minds, how they affect the house and claim of Gerrard. Say he be taken, racked, and tortured. I know no pain that can inflict upon him that will make him say that I moved him to these arms. Say that he thrive, as 'tis great like you will. Why then come I from Ireland with my strength, and reap the harvest which this rascal sowed. For Humphrey being dead as he shall be, and Henry put apart, the next for me.
Now, sir, have you dispatched this thing?
Aye, my good lord, he's dead.
Well, that's well said. Go, get you to my house. I will reward you for this valorous deed. Away. Begone!
Go. Call our uncle to our presence straight, and say we intend to try his grace today. If he be guilty, as 'tis publish it.
I'll call him presently, my lord.
I pray you, proceed no straighter against our uncle than with true evidence of good esteem he be approved, in practice culpable.
God forbid any malice should prevail, that faultless may condemn a nobleman. Pray God he may acquit him of suspicion.
I thank thee, Meg. These words content me much. How now? Why tremblest thou? Why lookst thou pale? What's the matter, Suffolk? Where's your uncle?
Dead in his bed, my lord. Gloucester is dead.
Mary, God forfend!
Oh, heavenly God!
How fares my gracious lord?
Comfort, my sovereign. Comfort, gracious
Oh, does my Duke of Suffolk try and comfort me? I know they poison with such sugar. Words lay down their hands on me, forbear, I say. Touch affrights me as to a serpent's sting. Oh, thou baleful messenger, out of my sight!
Why do you rate my lord of Suffolk thus? Although the Duke was enemy to him before, yet he, most Christian-like, laments his death. And for myself, foe as he was to me, might liquid tears or heart-offending groans or blood-consuming sighs recall his life, I would be blind with weeping, sick with tears, look pale as primrose with blood-drinking sighs, and all to have the noble Duke alive.
Oh, woe is me for Gloucester, wretched man.
Be well for me more wretched than he is. What dost thou turn away and hide thy face? I am no loathsome leper. Look on me. Is all thy comfort shut in Gloucester's tomb? Oh, then Dame Margaret was ne'er thy joy. Hang me, I can no more die, Margaret, for Henry weeps thou dost live so long.
It is reported, mighty sovereign, that good Duke Humphrey traitorously is murdered by Lord Suffolk and the Cardinal Beaufort's means. And the commons, like an angry hive of bees that want their leader, scatter up and down and care not who they sting in his revenge.
That he is dead, good Warwick, 'tis too true. But how he died, God knows, not Henry. Enter his chamber, view his breathless corpse, and comment then upon his sudden death.
That shall I do, my liege.
Though thou that judges all things, stay my thoughts. My thoughts that labor to persuade my soul some violent hands were laid on Duke Humphrey's life. If my suspect be false, forgive me, God, because judgment only doth belong to thee.
Come hither, gracious sovereign, view this body.
That is to see how deep my grave is made. For with his soul fled all my worldly solace. Seeing him, I see my life and death.
I do believe that violent hands were laid upon the life of this thrice-famed Duke.
What gives Lord Warwick instance for these vows?
See how the blood is settled in his face. Oft have I seen a timely parted ghost of ashy semblance, meager, pale, and bloodless. But see, his face is black and full of blood, his eyeballs further out than when he lived, his hair upreared, his nostrils stretched with struggling, his hands abroad displayed as one that grasped and tugged at life, and was by strength subdued. It cannot be but he was murdered here. The least of all these signs were probable.
Warwick, who should do the Duke to death?
You were vowed Duke Humphrey's foes.
Then you belike suspect this nobleman as guilty of Duke Humphrey's timeless death?
Say, if thou darest, proud Lord of Warwickshire, that I am faulty in Duke Humphrey's death.
What dares not Warwick, if false Suffolk dare him?
Oh, blunt-witted lord, a noble in demeanor, and if ever lady wronged her lord so much, thy mother took into her bed some stern, untutored churl, where noble stock was graft with crab-tree slip, and whose fruit thou art, and never of the noble race.
But that the guilt of murder bucklers thee, and that my sovereign's presence makes me mild, I would, false murderous coward, on thy knee make thee beg pardon for thy passed speech, and say it was thy mother that thou mentest, that thou thyself was born in bastardy. And after all this fearful homage done, give me thy hire and send thy soul to hell, ye word by me. Unless Lord Suffolk straightly done to death, or banished fair England's territories, they will by violence tear him from your palace. They say by him the good Duke Humphrey died. They say in him they fear your highness's death.
'Tis like the commoners! Some rude unpolished hinds! Like they could get a message to their sovereign!
Go, Warwick, and tell them all from me I thank them for their tender loving care. And had I not been cited so by them, yet I did purpose as they do entreat, for sure my thoughts do hourly prophesy mischance unto my state by Suffolk's means. Therefore by his majesty I swear, whose far unworthy deputy I am, he shall not breathe infection in the air but 3 days longer on the pain of death.
Oh, Henry, let me wait for gentle Suffolk.
Ungentle queen to call him gentle Suffolk. No more, I say. If thou dost plead for him, it will but add increase unto my wrath. If I had but said, I would have kept my word, but when I swear, it is irrevocable. Therefore, if after 3 days thou here beest found on any grounds I am ruler of the world, shall let me ransom for thy life. Come, Warwick, come, good Warwick, go with me. I have great matters to impart to thee.
Mischance and sorrow go along with you. Harsh discontent and sour affliction be playfellows to keep you company. There's 2 of you, the devil make a third. Threefold vengeance turns upon your steps. Give me thy hand, that I might do it with mournful tears. Or could this kiss be printed in thy hand, that thou mightest think upon me by the seal through which 1,000 sighs are breathed for thee? Now let me gone, that I may know my grief. Banished I am, if but from thee. Go, speak not to me. Oh! Even now, be gone. Oh! What are you? Even as 2 friends condemned embrace and kiss and take 10,000 leaves, though there 100 times to part them die. Yet now, farewell. Farewell life with thee.
Thus, Suffolk is 10 times banished, once by the king, 3 times thrice by thee.
Whither you go so fast? What news? I prithee.
To signify to his majesty that Cardinal Clothford is dead, for suddenly a grievous sickness took him that made him gasp and stare and catch the air, blaspheming God and cursing men on earth. Sometimes he talked as if Duke Humphrey's ghost were by his side. Sometimes he called the king, and I am sent to tell his majesty that at the end he cried aloud for him.
Go, tell this heavy message to the king. What is this world? What news are these? Get thee gone. The king thou knows is coming. If thou be found by me, thou art but dead.
If I depart from thee, I cannot live. And in thy sight to die. What were it but a pleasant slumber in thy lap? Let me stay, befall what may befall.
Away. To France? Sweet Suffolk.
I go.
Take my heart with thee.
Bring forth the soldiers of our prize, for whilst our pinnace anchors in the downs here, shall they make their ransom in the sand, or with their blood stain this discolored shore.
I lost mine eye laying the prize aboard, therefore to revenge it, thou shalt die.
Stay! For thy prisoner is a prince! The Duke of Suffolk, William de la Pole.
Oh, the Duke of Suffolk, muffled up in rags?
Aye! But these are no disguise of the Duke. Jove sometimes went in disguise, why not I?
But Jove is never slain, as thou shalt be.
Obscure and lousy swain. King Henry's blood, the honorable blood of Lancaster, must not be shed by such a jaded groom.
Speak, Captain. Shall I stop the forlorn swain? Convey him hence, and on our longboat side, strike off his head.
Not for thy dearest own!
Yes, Poole!
Poole!
Poole! Sir Paul! Lord! I, Kennel, Huddle, see, whose filth and dirt troubles the silver spring where England drinks. Now will I dam up this, thy yawning mouth for swallowing the treasure of the realm. Thy lips that kissed the queen shall sweep the ground, and thou that smiledest at good Duke Humphrey's death against the senseless wind shall grin and they, who in contempt shall hiss at thee again. By thee, Anjou and Maine were sold to France, and now the house of York, thrust from the crown, burns with revenging fire. And to conclude, reproach and beggary is crept into the palace of the king, and all by thee. Away, convey him hence.
It is impossible that I should die by such a lowly vassal as thyself. Thy words move rage, and not remorse in me. I go a message for the Queen of France. I charge thee, waft me safely across the channel.
Come, Suffolk, we must waft thee to thy death.
Come, soldiers, show a cruelty humanity. Oh, that this, my death, may never be forgot. Great men oft die by vile Bezonians. Bandito slain and Roman sword unbound, murdered sweet Tully. Brutus is bastard hand, stabbed Julius Caesar. Savage Islanders, Pompey the Great. And Suffolk died by pirates. No, please, no.
All right, Miss, how you doing there? You liking the show there, sucker? Wake up your white
Come!
roses there, you know.
Get your sword!
White
You'll be
roses,
made
yeah,
alive!
pick 'em up, yeah.
They've been up these 2 days!
Dynamite! Deny it if you can!
Nay, 'tis so true. Therefore he shall be king.
Say he made a chimney in my father's house, and the bricks are still alive to this day to testify it. Therefore, deny it not.
Cade and the Duke of York have taught you this.
He lies! For I invented it myself! Do, sirrah, tell the king from me that, for his father's sake, Henry V, I am content he shall reign, but I'll be protector over him!
Oh, gross and miserable ignorance. Herald away, and throughout every town proclaim them traitors that are up with Cade, and you that be the king's men, follow me.
And you that love the commons, follow me! Now show yourselves men! 'Tis for liberty! We are only one lord,
Wait for
one
us.
gentleman!
Wait for us!
Wait for us! Wait for us!
Oft have I heard that grief softens the mind and makes it fearful and degenerate. Think, therefore, on revenge, and cease to weep. But who can cease to weep and look on this?
How now, madam? Still lamenting and mourning for Suffolk's death? I fear, my love, if I had been dead, thou wouldst not have mourned so much for me.
No, my love. I should not mourn, but die for thee.
How now? What news? Why comest thou in such haste?
The rebels are in Suffolk. Why, my lord? Jack Cade proclaims himself Lord Mortimer and declares your grace usurper openly and vows to crown himself in Westminster.
Oh, graceless men, they know not what they do.
Oh, were the Duke of Suffolk now alive, these Kentish rebels would soon be appeased.
Linger not, my liege. Away, take horse.
Come, Margaret, God or hope. God will succor us.
I hope it's God. Now Suffolk is deceived.
That's right.
I'm here upon London strong. I charge and command that of the city's cost, the fishing conduit run nothing but claret wine this first year of our reign. And now henceforth it shall be treason to any that calls us other than Lord Mortimer.
Lord Mortimer!
Gently! Look him down there!
It's Lord Mortimer!
If this fellow be wise, he'll never know you Jack Cade more. I think he hath a very fair warning. My lord, there's an army gathered together in Smithfield.
Come then, let's go fight with them. But first, go set fire to London Bridge. And, if you can, burn down the tower too. Rock it straight, down the darkness corner, down and knock down. Throw them into jam. What noise is this I hear? Dare any be so bold to sound retreat, or parley when I command them tell?
Here they be that dare and will disturb thee. No, Cade, we come ambassadors from the king unto the commons, whom thou hast misled, and here pronounce free pardon to all those who will forsake thee and go home in peace.
What say you, countrymen? Will you relent and yield to mercy when 'tis offered you? Yes! Who loves the king? And will accept this pardon, throw up your caps and say, God save his majesty!
God save his majesty!
Who hateth him and honors not his father, Henry V, who made all France to quake? Shake they his weapons at us and pass by.
God save his
God save the king! God save the king! Red Rose! Red Rose! Red Rose!
Buckingham and Clifford, are you so brave? And you, base peasants, do you believe him? I thought you never would have given out these arms till you'd recovered your ancient freedoms. But you are recreants and dastards and delight to live in slavery to the nobility. Let them break your backs with burdens. Take your houses over your heads. Ravish your wives and daughters on your faces. For my part, I'll make shift for one, and so God's curse light upon you all.
We'll follow Cade!
We'll follow him! Red Rose!
Cade, the son of Henry V, that thus you do exclaim you'll follow him? Will he conduct you through the heart of France and make the meanest of you earls and dukes? Alas, he has no home, no place to find you, nor knows he how to live but by the spoil, unless it be by robbing of your friends and us. No. Spare England, for it is your native soil.
What?
Henry has money.
Money?
You are strong and manly. I doubt not of victory.
I'll Clifford! I'll Clifford! I'll follow the king! Red Rose! Red Rose!
What? So lightly blown to and fro as this multitude. My sword make way for me, for here's no stand.
Is he fled? Go, follow him. And he who brings his head unto the king shall have 1,000 crowns for his reward.
Where you go?
Health and glad tidings to your majesty.
What, Buckingham, is the traitor Cade surprised, or is he but retired to make him strong?
Fight, my lord, and all his forces yield.
Then heavens that ope the everlasting gates entertain my vows of thanks and praise.
Pleasing your grace to be advertised. The Duke of York is newly come from Ireland, and marching hitherward in a proud array, and still proclaimeth, as he comes along, his arms are only to remove from thee the Duke of Somerset, whom he terms a traitor.
Thus stands my state twixt Cade and York distressed, much like to a ship having escaped a tempest, suddenly calmed and boarded by a pirate. I pray thee, Buckingham, go and meet him and ask him what's the reason for these arms.
I will, my lord.
In Somerset, we'll commit thee thither until his army be dismissed from him.
My lord, I'll yield myself to prison willingly, or unto death to do my country good.
Come, wife, let us in and learn to govern better, for yet may England curse my wretched reign.
From Ireland thus comes York to claim his right and pluck the crown from feeble Henry's head. Whom have we here? Buckingham to disturb me? Art thou a messenger or come of pleasure?
A messenger from Henry, our dread liege, to know the reason of these arms in peace. Or why thou should raise so great a power without his leave, or dare to bring thy force so near the court.
Buckingham, I prithee pardon me. The reason why I have brought this army hither is to remove proud Somerset from the king, seditious to his grace and to the state.
If thy arms be to no other end, the king hath yielded unto thy demand. Somerset is in the tower.
Then, Buckingham, I do dismiss my powers. Flags, lights, horse, armor, anything I have is his to use. So Somerset may die.
York, and to commend this kind submission.
Buckingham, doth York intend no harm to us, and thus he marches with the arm in arm?
With all submission and humility, York doth present himself unto your highness.
And what intends these forces thou dost bring?
To heave the traitor Somerset from hence.
See, Buckingham, Somerset comes with the queen. Go bid her hide him quickly from the duke.
Oh, for 1,000 Yorks he shall not hide his head, but boldly stand and front him face to face.
Oh, now? Is Somerset at liberty? False king, whilst thou broken faith with me, knowing how hardly I can brook abuse. King, did I call thee? No, thou art not king, not fit to govern and rule over multitudes, which darest not, nor canst rule a traitor. That head of thine doth not become a crown, that gold must round and gird these brows of mine. Give place, by heaven thou shalt rule no more, or him whom heaven created for thy ruler.
Oh, monstrous traitor! I arrest thee, York, of capital treason against the king and crown. Obey! Audacious traitor, kneel for grace.
Wouldst have me kneel? First, let me ask of these if they can brook I bow knee to man. Sarah, call thy brothers to be my bail. I know ere they'll have me go to war, they'll pawn their swords for my enfranchisement.
Call hither Clifford. Bid him come amain to say that if the bastard boys of York shall be the surety for their traitor father.
Oh, blood, the Spartan Neapolitan, outcast of Naples, England's bloody scourge. Thy sons of York, thy bitters in their birth, shall be their father's bane, and bane to those that for my assurity will refuse the boys. See where they come? I'll warrant they'll make it good.
And here comes Clifford to deny their bid.
All health and happiness to my lord the king.
I thank thee, Clifford. Say, what's the news with thee? Oh, do not frighten us with thine angry lord. Oh! We are thy sovereign, Clifford. Kneel again. For thy mistaking so, we pardon thee.
This is my king, York. I do not mistake, but thou mistakes me much to think I do. To battle with him, as a man gone mad.
Aye, Clifford. A bedlam and ambitious humor makes him oppose himself against his king.
Well, he is a traitor. Let him to the tower and chop away that factious hate of his.
He is arrested, but will not obey. His sons, he says, shall give their words for him.
Will ye not, sons? Aye, noble father, if our words will serve.
And if our words will not, then our weapons shall.
What a brood of traitors have we here. Are these thy bears? We'll beat thy bears to death and manacle the bear herd in their chains, if thou darest to bring them to the baiting place.
Oft have I seen a hot or weaning cur run back and bite because he was withheld, who, having suffered the bear's fell paw, hath clapped his tail between his legs and cried. And such a piece of service will you do if you oppose yourselves to match Lord Warwick.
Hence, heap of wrath, foul indigested look, as crooked in thy manners as thy shame.
We shall hear you thoroughly anon.
Take care lest in thy heat thy burn thyselves.
Call Buckingham and bid him arm himself.
Call Buckingham and all the friends thou hast. I am resolved for death or dignity.
And I am resolved to bear a greater storm than any thou canst conjure up today, and from thy burgeonet I'll rend thy bear and tread it under foot. report with all contempt, despite the bear herd that protects the bear.
And so to arms, victorious father, for the rebels and their accomplices.
Why? Charity for shame! Speak not in spite, for you shall sup with Jesu Christ tonight.
Foul, stigmatic. That's more than thou canst tell me.
If not in hen, you'll surely sup in hell.
Clifford slew my steed, but match to match I have encountered him.
Our brother, both of us. The time has come.
Hold work! Seek thee out some other chase, for I myself must hunt this deer to death.
Then nobly, York. 'Tis for the crown thou fight'st.
What seest thou in me, York? Why dost thou pause?
For thy bride Baron should I be in love, for that thou art so fast, mine enemy.
And thy prowess should not want love and esteem, but that it is shown ignobly and in treason.
So let it help me now against thy sword, as I in justice and true right express it.
My soul and body on the action both.
More hath given thee peace, for thou art still. Peace with the soul, heaven, if it be thy will.
So lie now there! For underneath an alehouse, paltry sign, the castle at St. Albans, Somerset, hath made the wizard famous in his death. Sword, hold thy temper. Heart, be wrathful still. Priest, pray for enemies, but princes kill.
Away, my lord, you are slow! For shame, away!
Can we outrun the heavens? Good Margaret, stay!
What are you made of? You'll nor fight, nor fly. If we be ta'en, we shall see the bottom of all our fortunes. But if we happily escape, we shall to London get where you are loved, where this breach now stop!
Edward!
Our knights are sent to follow them, for as I hear the king has fled to London. What says Lord Warwick? Shall we after them?
After them? Nay, before them if we can. Sound drum and trumpets, and to London all, and more such days as these to us befall.
York! 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 York!
Shall us help the crowd? Let the vile world end! And the brightest flames of the last day in heaven and earth together! My heart is turned to stone, and while 'tis mine, it shall be stony! Be I an infant in the house of York. Into as many gobbets will I cut it as wild Medea young Axtrith did. Henceforth I shall have nothing to do with many. In cruelty will I seek out my fame.
I wonder how the king is getting their hands.
While we pursue the horsemen of the north, he slyly stole away and left his men. Duke of Buckingham is either slain or wounded dangerous. If this is true, father, behold his blood.
If he is here of Wiltshire's blood,
Lord!
my account is the battle's joined.
Speak thou for me! And tell them what I did.
Richard hath best deserved of all my sons. Oh, what is your grace dead, my lord Somerset?
Thus do I hope to shake King Henry's head.
And so do I, victorious Prince of York, before I see thee seated in that throne. This is the palace of the fearful king, and this the regal seat. Possess it, York, for this is thine and not King Henry's heirs. And when the king comes, offer him no violence unless he seek to thrust you out for force.
And leave me not, lords. Be resolute. I mean to take possession of my right.
My lord, but where the sturdy rebel sits even in the chair of state, belike he means to aspire unto the crown and reign as king.
He durst not sit there had your father lived. Let us assail the family of York.
Thou factious Duke of York, descend my throne and kneel for grace and mercy at my feet. I am thy sovereign.
I am thine.
And shall I stand, and thou sit in my throne?
It must and shall be so. Content thyself. Will you wish shall return to the crown? If not, our sword shall plead it in the field. Come, Warwick. Come, Warwick! Clifford, Henry of Lancaster, resign thy crown.
But my lord of Warwick, hear but one word. Let me for this my lifetime reign as king.
Return the crown to me and to mine heirs, and thou shalt reign in quiet whilst thou livest.
Nay!
I am content. Richard Plantagenet enjoys the kingdom after my decease.
What wrong is this unto the prince, your son?
What good is this to England and himself?
Base, fearful, despairing Henry? How hast thou wronged both thyself and us? I will not stay to hear these articles, but to the queen and tell her of this news.
Why should you sigh, my lord?
Not for myself, Lord Warwick, but for my son, whom I shall unnaturally disinherit, but be it as it may. I here entail the crown to thee and thine heirs forever, conditionally that here thou take an oath to cease this civil war, and whilst I live, honor me as thy king and sovereign, and neither by treason nor hostility seek to put me down and reign thyself.
This oath I willingly take and will perform.
Long live King Henry! Plantagenet, embrace him.
And long live thou, and these thy forward sons.
Now York and Lancaster are reconciled. Farewell, my gracious lord. All to my castle.
And I'll keep London with my soldiers.
Come, boys!
And I, grief and sorrow to the court.
Nay. Oh, go not from me. I will follow thee.
Be patient, gentle queen, and I will stay.
Who can be patient in such extremes? Oh, wretched man! Would I had died a maid, never seen thee, never borne thee son, seeing thou hast proved so unnatural a father! Hath he deserved to lose his birthright thus? Hadst thou but loved him half so well as I, or felt the pain which I did for him once, or nourished him as I did, with my blood, thou wouldst have left thy dearest heart blood there, rather than have made that savage duke thine heir, and disinherited thine only son.
Father, you cannot disinherit me. If you be king, why should not I succeed?
Pardon me, Margaret, pardon me, sweet son. The Earl of Warwick and the Duke enforced me.
Enforced thee? Art thou king? And wilt be forced? I shame to hear thee speak. Oh, timorous wretch! Thou hast undone thyself, thy son, and me, and given unto the house of York such head as thou shalt reign but by their suffrage. Had I been there, which am a silly woman, the soldiers should have tossed me on their pikes before I would have granted to that act. But thou preferst thy life before thine honor. The northern lords that have forsworn thy colors will follow mine. If once they see them spread they shall be, to thy foul disgrace, and utter ruin of the house of York. Thus do I leave thee. Come, son, left away, our army is ready. Come, go after them.
Revenged may she be on that hateful duke, whose haughty spirit, winged with desire, will cost my crown, and like an empty eagle tire on the flesh of me and my son.
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Richard, put your toys away. Brother, so I be younger, let me speak.
No, I can better play the orator.
But I have reasons strong and forcible.
Now, sons, at a strike? What is your quarrel? I'll begin at first.
No quarrel, but a slight contention.
About what?
About that which concerns your grace and us. The crown of England, father, which is yours.
Mine, boy? Not till King Henry be dead.
Your right depends not on his life or death.
Yes.
Now you are heir, therefore enjoy it now.
Yes.
I took an oath that he should quietly reign. Before a kingdom, any oath may be broken. I would break 1,000 oaths to reign 1 year.
No, God forbid your grace be forsworn.
I shall be, if I claim by open war.
I'll prove the contrary if you'll hear me speak.
Thou canst not, son. 'Tis impossible.
An oath is of no moment, being not took before a true and lawful magistrate that hath authority over him that swears. Henry had none, yet did usurp the place. Then seeing 'twas he that made you to depose, your oaths, my lord, are vain and frivolous, therefore to arms. And father, think but how sweet a thing it is to wear a crown, with within whose circuit is Elysium, and all that poets feign of bliss and joy. Why do we linger thus? I cannot rest until the white rose that I wear be dyed, even in the lukewarm blood of Henry's heart.
Richard! Enough. I will be king or die. But stay with news. What comes Somerset's post?
The Queen, with all the northern earls and lords, intending to besiege you in your castle. She is hard by with 20,000 men, and therefore fortify your hold, my lord.
I with my sword. What? Because so we fear them? Edward and Richard, you shall stay with me. The army of the Queen means to besiege us.
She shall not need. We'll meet her in the field. What, with 5,000 men? I with 500, father, for a need. A woman's general. What should we fear?
I hear the drums. Let's send out our men, raise 2 force, and bid the battle straight.
5 men to 20. Though the odds be great, I doubt not our victory!
Gentle Clifford, come me with thy sword, and not with such a cruel, threatening look. Sweet Clifford, hear me speak before I die. I am too mean a subject for thy wrath. Be thou revenged on men, and let me live.
In vain thou speakest, poor boy. My father's blood has stopped the passage where thy words should enter. The sight of any of the house of York is as fury to torment my soul until I root out their accursed line and leave not one alive. I live in hell. Thy father slew my father. Therefore, die!
Plantagenet! I come, Plantagenet!
Oh, and this, thy son's blood, cleaving to my blade, shall rust upon the sword, till thy blood, congealed with his, do make me wipe off both.
The army of the Queen has got the field. Ah! Our heart.
The fatal followers to pursue, and I am faint. Ah! Ah! And cannot fly the fury. Ah! And were I strong, I would not shun their fury. The sands are numbered that make up my life. Here I must stay. And here my life doth end.
Yield to our mercy, proud Plantagenet. I to such mercy as thy ruthless arm with downright payment showed unto my father.
Why come you not? What multitudes in fear?
So cowards will fight when they can fly no further. I will not bandy thee word for word, but buckle thee with blows twice two for one.
Hold! Valiant Clifford, I would, for 1,000 causes, prolong a while the traitor's life. Come, make him stand upon this molehill. Rotted mountain with outstretched arms, parted but the shadow with his hand. What? Was it you who would be England's king? Was it you who revelled in our parliament and made a preachment of your high descent? Where are your mess of sons to back you now? The wanton Edward, the lusty George, and who was that valiant cookback prodigy? Did your boy, that with his grumbling voice, was wont to cheer his dad in mutinies? Or with the rest?
Where's your darling Rutland?
Oh! Look, I stained this napkin with the blood that valiant Clifford, with his dagger's point, made issue from the bosom of the boy. And if thine eyes can water for his death, I give thee this to dry thy cheeks withal. I prithee grieve to make me merry, York. What, hath thy fiery heart so parched thine entrails that not a tear can fall for Rutland's death? Why art thou patient, man? Thou shouldst be mad. And I, to make thee mad, do mock thee thus. Stamp, rave, and fret, that I may sing and dance. Oh, York cannot speak unless he wear a crown. A crown for York, and lords bow low to him. Aye, marry, sir, now he looks like a king. Aye, this is he that took King Henry's chair, and this is he was his adopted heir. But how is it that great Plantagenet is crowned so soon, and broke his solemn oath? As I bethink me, you should not be king till our King Henry had shook hands with death. Oh, 'tis a fault too unpardonable. Off with the crown, and with the crown his head. And whilst we breathe, take time to do him dead.
She-wolf of France, but worse than wolves of France, more poisons than the adder's tooth. How ill-beseeming is it in thy sex to triumph like an Amazonian troll upon their woes whom fortune captivates. O tiger's heart, wrapped in a woman's hide. How couldst thou drain the lifeblood of the child, to bid the father wipe his eyes with all, and yet be seen to bear a woman's face? Bidst thou me rage? When now thou hast the wish, wouldst have me weep? When now thou hast the will. These tears are my sweet Rutland's obsequies, and every drop cries vengeance for his death. See, ruthless queen, a hapless father's tears. His club. Now dips in the blood of my sweet boy. And I with tears wash the blood away. Keep thou the napkin and go boast of this. And if thou tell'st the heavy story right, upon my soul the ears of will shed tears. Yea, even my foes will shed fast falling tears, and cry aloud, it was a piteous deed.
There. Take the crown, and with the crown my curse, and in thy need such comfort come to thee as now I reap by thy too cruel hand.
And here's for my father's death.
And here's to right our gentle-hearted king.
Open thy gates of mercy, gracious God. My soul flies to these woods to seek out thee.
Off with his head. And set it on York gates, so York may overlook the town of York.
I wonder how our princely father escaped, or whether he escaped away or no. How fares my brother? Why is he so sad?
I cannot joy until I be resolved where a right valiant father has become. George! What art thou? Whose heavy looks foretell some terrible story hanging on thy tongue.
One that was a willful looker on when as the noble Duke of York was slain. Our princely father, my loving lord.
Oh, speak no more, for I have heard too much.
Say how he died, for I will hear it all.
By many hands our father was subdued, but only slaughtered by the ireful arm of unrelenting Clifford and the Queen. They took his head, and on the gates of York they set the same, and there it doth remain. Sorriest spectacle that e'er I viewed.
Oh, sweet Duke of York, our prop to lean upon. Now that there are gone, we have no staff, no stay. Oh, never, henceforth shall I see more joy. Oh, never shall I joy again.
I cannot weep, for all my body's moisture scarce serves to quench my furnace-burning heart. To weep is to make less the depth of grief. Tears then for babes, blows in revenge for me. Richard, I bear thy name. I'll avenge thy death.
How now, fair lords? What fares? What news abroad?
Most gracious lord, the Duke of York is slain. But in this troublous time, what's to be done? Shall we go throw away our coats of steel and wrap our bodies in black mourning gowns, numbering our Ave Maries with beads? Or shall we, on the helmets of our foes, tell of our devotion with revengeful arms? For the last say aye, and to it, lords.
Aye!
Aye! Aye!
Then strike up drums, God and St. George for us!
Welcome, my lord, to this brave town of York. Yonder's the head of that arch-enemy that sought to be encompassed with thy royal crown. Doth not the object cheer your heart, my lord?
To see this sight, it irks my very soul. Withhold revenge, dear God, 'tis not my fault, but wittingly have I infringed my vow. Oh, cousin York, would thy best friends did know how it doth grieve me that thy head is here.
My lord, cheer up your spirits. Our foes are nigh, and this soft courage makes your followers faint. You promised knighthood to our forward son. Unsheath your sword and drop your prison. Edward, kneel down.
Edward Plantagenet, arise, a knight, and learn this lesson. Draw thy sword in right.
My gracious father, by your kingly leave, I'll draw it as a parent to the crown, and in this quarrel use it to the death!
Royal commanders, be in readiness, for with a band of 30,000 men comes Warwick back
Buckingham, the Duke of York, and in the towns as they do march along, proclaim him king, and many follow him.
I would your highness would depart the field. The queen had best success when you are absent.
Aye. Good, my lord, and leave us to our fortune.
Why, that's my fortune too. Therefore, I'll stay.
Now, perjured Henry, will I humbly bend thy knee and kneel for grace, set thy diadem upon my head, or pledge the mortal fortune of the field.
Go rate thy minions, proud insulting boy. Now becomes it thee to be thus bold in terms before thy sovereign and thy lawful king?
What sayst thou, Henry? Wilt thou yield the crown?
How now, long-tongued Warwick, dare you speak?
Have done with words, my lords, and hear me speak.
Defy them then, or else hold close thy lips.
Prithee, give no limitations to my tongue. I am a king, and privileged to speak.
Say, Henry, shall I have my right or no?
Thou deny their blood upon thy head.
Your highness, the wound that bred this meeting here cannot be cured by words, therefore be still.
Since thou deniest thy gentle king to speak, sound trumpets and let our bloody colors wave, and either victory or else a grave!
Yea, Edward!
No, wrangling woman, our arms will no longer stay. These words will cost 10,000 lives this day!
This battle fares like to the morning's war. The dying clouds contend with growing light. Now sways it this way, like a mighty sea forced by the tide to combat with the wind. Now sways it that way, like the self-same sea forced to retire by fury of the wind. Both sides tugging for victory breast to breast, yet neither conqueror nor conquered. So is the equal poise of this fell war. Here, on this molehill will I sit me down. To whom God will, there be the victory. Would that I were dead, if God's will were so, for what is in this world but grief and woe? Oh God, methinks it were a happy life, to be no better than a homely swain, to sit upon a hill, as I do now, to carve out dials quaintly, point by point, see the minutes how they run, how many make the hour full complete, how many hours will bring about the day, how many days will finish up the year, how many years a mortal man may live. So minutes, hours, days, months, and years passed over to the end they were created would bring white hairs unto a quiet grave. Ah, what a life for this. Oh, hideous spectacle! Oh, bloody times! Woe above woe, grief more than common grief. Would that my death would stay these ruthful deeds. Was ever king so grieved for subjects' woe? Much is your sorrow, mine 10 times so much.
Fly, father, fly! For all of your friends have fled. Warwick rages like a chafed bull. Away, for death doth hog us in pursuit.
Away, my lord, towards Berwick post amain. Edward and Richard like a brace of greyhounds with fiery eyes sparkling for very wrath, bloody steel grasped in their idle hands are at our backs. Therefore, hence, amain!
Away! Vengeance comes along with them! Nay, stay not to expostulate, or else come after all the way before!
May take me with thee, good sweet Edward! Not that I fear to stay, but let's go whither the Queen intends! Forward, away!
Under this thick grove brave we'll shroud ourselves, and through this law anon the deer will come, and in this covert here will make our stand, calling the principal of all the deer. Hey.
Oh! Stand back! Here comes a man!
From Scotland am I stolen, even a pure love to greet mine own land with wishful sight. No, Harry, 'tis no land of thine. Thy place is filled, thy sceptre wrung from thee, thy balm washed off wherewith thou wast anointed.
Here's a deerskin for a keeper's fee. This is the Quandrum King.
Still on! Let's hear a little more!
My queen and son are gone to France for aid, and as I hear, the great commanding Warwick is thither gone to crave the French king's sister to wife for Edward. If this news be true, poor queen and son, your labor is but lost.
We charge you, in God's name and the king's, to go along with us into the officers.
In God's name lead, your king's name be obeyed, and what God will, that let your king perform, and what he will, I humbly yield unto.
Good. Good. Come on.
Brother of Gloucester. Whew. It's good to be king. That's me. At St. Albans Field, this lady's husband, Sir Richard Grey, was slain. His liege lands then seized on by the conqueror. Her suit, which, well, we in justice cannot deny, is to repossess those lands. Because, in quarrel of the House of York, the worthy gentleman did lose his life.
Your grace should do well to grant her suit. It were dishonor to deny it her.
Widow, come again some other time to know our mind. We will consider of your suit.
Most gracious lord, I cannot brook delay. May it please your highness to resolve me now, and what your pleasure is shall satisfy me.
My widow, I'll warrant you all your lands, and if what pleases him shall pleasure you, fight closer! For good faith, you'll catch a blow.
How many children has thou, widow? Tell me.
Methinks he means to beg a child of her.
3, most gracious lord.
You'll have 4 if you be ruled by him.
Lords, give us leave. I'll try this widow's wit. Now, madam, do you love your children, and would you not do much to do them good?
To do them good, I would sustain some harm.
Well, then get your husband's lands to do them good. I'll tell you how these lands are to be got.
So shall you bind me to your highness's service?
Well, what service will thou do me if I give them?
What you command that rests in me to do?
Huh? An easy task, 'tis but to love a king.
Well, that's soon performed, because I am a subject.
Why, thy husband's lands I freely give.
I take my leave with many thousand thanks.
The match is made, she seals it with a curtsy.
But say thee, 'tis the fruits of love, I mean. What love thinkst thou I sue so much to get?
My love till death, my humble thanks, my prayers, that love which virtue begs and virtue grants.
No, by my troth, I did not mean such love. To tell thee plain, I aim to lie with thee.
To tell thee plain, I had rather lie in prison than no, my lord, my suit is at an end.
The widow likes it not. She knits her brows.
He is the bluntest wooer in Christendom.
Sweet widow, by my state, I swear to thee, I speak no more than what my soul intends, and that is to enjoy thee for my love.
And that is more than I will yield unto. I know I am too mean to be your queen, and yet too good to be your concubine.
You cavil, widow. I did mean my queen.
'Twill grieve your grace my son should call you father.
Why? 'Tis a happy thing to be a father unto many sons. Answer no more, for thou shalt be my queen. Brothers, you muse what chat we two have had?
The widow likes it not. She looks very sad.
You think it strange I should marry her? Her suit for her husband's lands have been granted.
My gracious lord, Henry your foe is taken and brought your prisoner to your palace gate.
Convey him to the tower, hence!
I am, my lord.
And brothers, go, we, to the man that took him to question of his apprehension. Widow, go along. Lords, use her honorably.
Edward will use women honorably. Would he were wasted, marrow, bones and all, that from his loins the hopeful branch may spring to cross me in the golden time I look for. And yet, between my soul's desire and myself, the lustful Edward's title buried, his Clarence, Henry, and his son, young Edward, and all the other unlooked-for issue of their bodies to take their rooms, where I can place myself. Cold premeditation for my purpose. Or then I do but dream on sovereignty, unless my hand and strength could equal them. Well, say there is no kingdom then for Richard. What other pleasure can the world afford? Why? Love forswore me in my mother's womb. She did corrupt frail nature with some bribe. Shrink mine arm up like a withered shrub. To make an envious mountain on my back, where sits deformity to mark my body? To shape my legs of an unequal size? To disproportion me in every part? And am I then a man to be beloved? Or monstrous fault to harbor such a thought? And since this earth affords no joy to me, I'll make my hen to dream upon the crown. And whilst I live to account this world but hell, until my misshapen trunk that bears this head be round and paled with a glorious crown. And yet I know not how to get the crown, for many lives stand between me and home. And I, like one lost in a thorny wood, torment myself to catch the English crown. From that torment, I will free myself, or I will hew my way out with a bloody axe. What? I can smile and murder whilst I smile, and wet my cheeks with artificial cheers, and frame my face for all occasion. Can I do this? Cannot get a crown. Tut! Were farther off, I'll pluck it down.
Fair Queen of England, worthy Margaret, sit down with us. It ill befits thy state and birth that thou shouldst stand whilst Louis doth sing.
No, mighty King of France. I must confess, great Albion's queen in former golden days, but now mischance hath trod my title down, and with dishonor laid me on the ground.
Be plain, Queen Margaret, until thy grief it shall be eased if France can yield relief.
These gracious words revive my drooping thoughts, give my tongue-tied sorrows leave to speak. Now, therefore be it known to noble Louis that Henry, sole possessor of my love, is of a king become a banished man, and forced to live in Scotland a forlorn, while proud ambitious Edward, Duke of York, usurps the regal title and the seat of England's true anointed lawful king. This is the cause that I, poor Margaret, with this my son, Prince Edward, Henry's heir, am come to crave thy just and lawful aid, and if thou fail us, all our hope is gone.
Renowned Queen, with patience, calm the storm, lest we bethink a means to break it off. Welcome, brave Warwick, what brings thee to France?
From worthy Edward, King of England, I come in kindness and unfeigned love. First to do greetings to thy royal person, then to crave a league of amity, and lastly to confirm that amity with nuptial knot, if thou vouchsafe to grant that lovely Lady Bona, thy fair sister, to England's king in lawful marriage.
King Louis, hear me speak. His demand springs not from Edward's well-meant, honest love, but from deceit, bred by necessity. To prove him tyrant, this reason may suffice, that Henry liveth still. Yet were he dead, now here Prince Edward stands Henry's son. Look therefore, Louis, that by this league and marriage thou draw not on thy danger and dishonor.
Injurious Margaret!
And why not queen?
Because thy father Henry did usurp, and thou no more art prince than she is queen.
Now, Warwick, tell me, and upon my conscience, is Edward your true king? For I were loath to link with him that were not lawful chosen.
Thereon I pawn my credit and mine honor.
Then Warwick thus, our sister shall be Edward's. Draw near Queen Margaret to be witness that Bona shall be wife to the English king.
To Edward, but not the English king.
Deceitful Warwick! It was thy device by this alliance to make void my suit. Before thy coming, Louis was Henry's friend.
And still is friend to him and Margaret. But if your title to the crown be weak, as would appear from Edward's good success, then 'tis but reason that I be released from giving aid which late I promised.
My Lord Ambassador, these letters for you from your brother, Marquess Montague. These from our king, I'm to your majesty. And madam, these for you, from whom I know not.
Warwick, what are thy news, and yours, fair queen?
Mine, such as fill my heart with unhoped joy.
Mine full of sorrow and heart's discontent.
What? Has your king married the Lady Grey? And now to soothe your forgery and his, sends me a paper to persuade me patience? Is this the alliance that he seeks with France?
King Louis, I here protest in sight of heaven that I am clear from this misdeed of Edward's, no more my king, for he dishonors me. Did I impale him with the regal crown? And am I guerdoned at the last with shame? Shame on himself! For my desert is honor. And now, to repair the honor lost from him, I here renounce him and return to Henry. My noble graces. Let former grudges pass, and I am henceforth thy true servitor. I will revenge his wrong to Lady Bona and replant Henry in his former state.
Warwick, these words have turned my hate to love, and I forgive thee, and quite forget old faults, and joy thou becomes Henry's friend.
And now at last I firmly resolve, you shall have aid. That England's messenger return in post until false Edward, I suppose a king, that Louis of France is sending over maskers to revel it with him and his new bride.
Tell him my mourning weeds are laid aside, and I'm ready to put armor on.
Tell him from me that he hath done me wrong, and I'll uncrown him ere it be long.
Warwick, thou and Margaret and 5,000 men shall cross the seas and bid false Edward battle. I long till Edward fall by war's mischance. For mocking marriage with a dame of France.
I came from Edward his ambassador, but I return his sworn and mortal foe. I was the chief that raised him to the crown, and I'll be chief to bring him down again. Not that I pity Henry's misery, but seek revenge on Edward's mockery.
Now, messenger, what news or what letters from France?
My sovereign liege, no letters and few words, but such as I without your special pardon dare not relate.
Push that in.
Go to, we pardon thee.
Go down the slot.
Therefore, in brief, tell me their words as near as thou canst guess them. What answer makes King Louis unto our letters?
At my depart, these were his very words. Go tell false Edward, the supposed king, that Louis of France is sending over maskers to revel it with him and his new bride.
Oh, is Louis so brave? Be like he thinks me Henry? But what said Henry's queen? For I heard she is there in waiting.
Tell him, quoth she, that my mourning weeds are done, and I am ready to put armor on.
Belike methinks she wants to play the Amazon. But what said Warwick to these injuries?
He, more incensed against your majesty than all the rest, discharged me with these words. Tell him he hath done me wrong, and therefore I'll uncrown him ere it be long.
Oh, dost the traitor breathe out so proud of words? Well, I will arm me, and being thus forewarned, they will have their wars and pay for their presumption. Ah, Warwick, will thou humbly bend thy knee, call Edward king, and at his hands beg mercy? Then we shall pardon thee these outrages.
Nay, rather wilt thou draw thy forces hence, call Warwick patron, and be penitent, and thou shalt still remain the Duke of York.
The Duke? Warwick, when we parted, thou callest me king.
Aye, but the case is altered when you disgraced me in my embassade. Then I degraded you from being king, and now come to create you Duke of York. Henry is my king, Warwick his subject.
But Warwick's king is Edward's prisoner.
You left poor Henry at the bishop's palace. And 10 to 1 you'll meet him in the tower. Come, Warwick, take the time. Kneel down. Kneel down.
I had rather chop this hand off at a blow, and with the other fling it at thy face.
What, Warwick, will thou fight?
Aye, I bid thee battle, Edward, if thou darest.
Yes, Edward dares and leads the way. Lord, to the fields, St. George, and victory! So die thou, and die our fear. For Warwick was a bug that feared us all.
My blood, my want of strength, my sick heart shows that I must yield my body to the earth, and by my fall, my conquest to my foe.
Great lords, wise men, ne'er sit and wail their loss, but cheerly seek how to redress their harms. What though the mast be now blown overboard, the cable broke, the holding anchor lost, and half our sailors swallowed in the flood? Yet lives our pilot still. This speak I, lords, to let you understand, in case some one of you would fly from us, that there's no hope for mercy with the brothers, more than with ruthless waves, with sand and rocks. Why, courage then! What cannot be avoided 'twere childish weakness to lament or fear. You fight injustice. Then in God's name, lords, be valiant, and give signal to the fight!
You preach our battle, hence we will not budge.
Brave followers! Yonder stands thy thorny woods, that by which heaven's assistance and your strength must be hewn up by ere night. I need not add more fuel to your fire. What I want, you burn to blaze them out. Give signal to the fight and to it, Lord! Bring forth the galleon. Let us hear him speak. What, Edward? Can so young a thorn begin to prick. What satisfaction canst thou make for bearing arms, for stirring up my subjects, and all the trouble thou hast turned me to?
Speak like a subject. Proud, ambitious York. Suppose I am now my father's mouth, and where I stand, kneelst thou. Whilst I propose the self-same words to thee which, traitor, you would have me answer to.
If thy father had been so resolute.
Peace, willful boy, I will charm thy tongue.
Untutored lad, you are too malapert.
I know my duty. You are all undutiful, lascivious. Edward, thou perjure George, and thou misshapen Dick. I tell you all I am your better, traitors, as you are, and now usurps my father's rights and mine!
Take that!
Brawlest thou? Take that to end thy agony.
And here, for twitting me with perjury.
Oh, kill me too! Marry and shall.
Hold, Richard, for we have done too much.
Why should she live to fill the world with words?
What? Does she swoon? Use means for her recovery.
Clarence, excuse me to the king, my brother. I'll hence to London on an important matter. Ere thou come there, look to hear some news.
What?
The tower. The tower!
Oh, Ned. Where's Ned?
Speak to thy mother, boy. Canst thou not speak? Oh, traitors, murderers. Where's the murderer that I may name it? If I speak, my heart will burst, then I will speak. So that my heart may burst, butchers and villains, bloody cannibals, so sweet a plant you have untimely cropped. You have no children. Butchers, if you did, the thought of them would have stirred up remorse. If you ever chance to have a child, look him in his youth as deathsman you have rid this sweet young prince.
Away with her. I charge you bear her hence.
Nay, will never bear me hence. Dispatch me here. Unsheath thy sword, no part of thee by death. What? Withal not. Clarence, do it thou.
By heaven, it will not do thee so much ease.
No. Away with her, I say. I charge you bear her hence.
So come to you and yours as this prince.
Where is Richard gone?
To London, all in post, and as methinks to make a bloody supper in the tower.
He's sudden if a thing comes to mind. Now, march we hence. Discharge the common sword with paying thanks, and let's away in London to see our gentle queen how well she fares. By this, I hope she hath a son for me.
Good day, my lord! What? Had you booked so hard?
Aye, my good lord. My lord, I should say, rather. 'Tis sin to flatter. The good were little better. Good Gloucester and good devil were both alike and preposterous, therefore not good lord.
Sirrah, leave us to ourselves. We must confer.
So flies the reckless shepherd from the wolf. So first the harmless sheep doth yield his fleece, and next his throat unto the butcher's knife. What scene of death hath Rashus now to act?
Suspicion often haunts the guilty mind. The thief doth fear each bush and officer.
The bird that hath been limed in a bush, with trembling wings misdoubteth every bush. And I, the hapless male, to one sweet bird, am now the fatal object in my eye, where my poor young was limed, was caught and killed.
Why? What a peevish fool was that of Crete, that taught his son the office of a fowl, and yet, for all his wings, the fool's drowned.
Oh, kill me with thy weapons, not with thy words. My breast can better brook thy dagger's point than can my ear that tragic history. But wherefore dost thou come? Is it for my life?
Thinkest thou I am an executioner?
A persecutor, I am sure thou art. Murdering innocents be executing, why then thou art an executioner.
Thy son I killed for his presumption.
If thou hadst been killed, when first thou didst presume thou hadst not lived to kill a son of mine. And thus I prophesy that many a thousand shall rue the hour ever thou wast born. The owl shrieked at thy birth, an evil sign. The raven rooked her on chimney's top. Thy mother felt more than a mother's pain, yet brought forth less than a mother's hope. To wit, an indigested and deformed lump, not like the fruit of such a goodly tree. Teeth hadst thou in thy head when thou wast born, to signify thou camest to bite the world. And if the rest be true,
I'll hear no more! Die, prophet, in thy speech! For this, amongst the rest, was I ordained.
And for much more slaughter after this, God forgive my sins, and pardon me.
What? Shall the aspiring blood of Lancaster sink in the ground? If I were mounted! See how my sword weeps for the poor king's death. If there be but yet a spark of life remaining, down to hell, and say I sent thee thither, I, that have neither pity, love, nor fear. Indeed, 'tis true that Henry told me of. For oft have I heard my mother say, I came into this world with my legs forward. Had I not reason, think you, to make haste to seek their ruin that usurped our right? The midwife wondered, and the women cried, Oh, Jesus, bless us! He is born with teeth! So I was. Which plainly signified that I should snarl and bite and play the dog. Then since the heavens have shaped my body thus, let hell make crooked my mind to answer it. I have no brother. I am like no brother. And this word, love, which graybeards call divine, it be manifest in men like one another, and not in me. I am myself alone. King Henry and his son are gone. Clarence! Thy turn is next! And then the rest, counting myself but bad, until I be best. I'll throw thy body in another room and triumph, Henry, in thy day of doom.
Once more, in England's royal throne, repurchased with the blood of enemies, like autumn's corn, we have mowed down in tops of all their pride. Come hither, Bess, let me kiss my boy. Young Ned, for thee, thine uncles and myself, and all armors have watched the winter's night, stood all afoot in summer's scalding heat, that thou might repossess the crown in peace, and of our efforts thou shalt reap the gain.
I'll blast his harvest if your head were lain, for yet I am not looked on in the world.
Clarence and Gloucester, love my lovely queen, kiss your princely nephew, brothers both.
The duty that I owe your majesty, I seal upon the lips of this sweet babe.
Thanks, Clarence, thanks, worthy brother.
And since I love the tree from which thou springst, witness the loving kiss I give the fruit. To say it true, so Judas kissed his master and cried, "All hail!" whereas he meant, "All ho!"
As my soul delights, having my country's peace and my brother's love, now at rest, but we celebrate with sacred triumphs, mirthful common shows, such as befits the pleasure of the court. Sound drums and trumpet, farewell, sorrow and noise, for here, I hope, begins our lasting joy.
People have been telling stories as long as they're